Tell me, can you hear me? And we are live in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone, wherever you are. Woo! Wow. All right, it is Friday. I think we're live. We should be live on YouTube and Instagram. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Adam Terry. This is RC with Adam, and today is Friday FLYDAY. So I'm going to make sure I click all the right buttons here. You should be able to see me, should be able to hear me. I hope you are doing so well today. As you can hear, I am battling with the allergies because spring is here, which is fantastic, but I get really bad like sinus stuff going on. So, I might just be, hacking through this one, but you just have to bear with me. Oh boy, glad to be back here with you. Exciting stuff going on. So, Flying Butter, I see you. We got Flying Butter. It says Happy FLYDAY. And we have the CR85 guy, and we have Animate Fun on YouTube. Welcome. We're also on Instagram. Nobody's on Instagram right now because I don't know why. I'm just not popular on the gram, but that's okay. So, all right, we're just going to jump right into it. We don't have a ton of, we don't have a ton of time today. I need to have kind of a hard stop. So let's jump into Uncrashed. We're going to be flying in Uncrashed today. Hopefully I set my transmitter up correctly. I've got the Radio Master Pocket working with me today. And actually I got to figure out a comfortable way of doing this. I'm sitting down this time. I think that's going to help me. I'm going to go back to that racetrack that we were doing last time, last FLYDAY. We went to the drift track. And hopefully the audio is not going to be weird either. Wait, am I hearing myself? I can't tell. Let me know if you're hearing double of me or something like that. But we went to the drift track and we did a race in the parking garage. And at first I was just doing so terribly. But then I got better, which was still pretty terrible. But the point is, I got better. So now I really want to see if I can do better. So let's do it. And I'm going to try, and answer your questions that you have about, probably mostly particularly about drones, because we are flying FPV drones here in this simulator. But in between races, we can do some of that. And wouldn't you know it, my transmitter's not working for some reason. Why aren't you working? Why are you like this to me? It's so strange. I thought I did it all correctly, I thought I did everything I needed to do to make it work. Maybe I did it too early. All right, let me go back here. I'm going to fix this, and then we're going to get flying. Animate Fun asks, how am I doing? The CR85 guy says, how are you doing? I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing pretty well. I'm thankful that I have energy, even though my head is like not doing well. My sinuses are just really getting to me. So it's hard to think and focus on stuff, but I'm very thankful that I have energy and am physically capable of doing some stuff, because as I've said before, I'm in the process of moving, and so, which is really, really cool if that's going to work out like I think it is. And so that's very exciting, but it takes a lot of energy to move house. So if there's anybody who is in the process of that, I feel for you, because it takes it takes a lot to do it. Let me get this up here. We're going to be getting back into Uncrashed in just a moment here. Hopefully it will recognize my transmitter. Olive. I see we have Olive in the chat as well. Welcome. How are you doing, Olive? Let's go over here. Boom. Oh, I should have checked my transmitter. Whatever. It should be working. There's really zero reason why it would not be working. Yes. Okay, let's go to that. Let's go to that racetrack. All right, so we're in Uncrashed. Currently my favorite simulator. It was I think it was the parking track, right? It was I guess it was a free race. Yeah, this is what it was. Whoa. Whoa, I'm getting crazy. I'm getting a little crazy there. Settle down, Adam. All right, because we got to. Oh, that's that one always gets me. Oh boy. Oh, it's going downhill. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. I can recover. We just got to slow is smooth, smooth is fast, fast is fast, fast is fast. Remember? Okay. So through here. Oh gosh. Oh nope. Okay. I was getting confused. I was thinking it was something else. There we go. That's my shadow right there that I'm chasing. So now my previous self is actually beating my current self, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. So we come through here. Whoa. Oh, it looks slightly different because this is like daytime that I chose. So it's like brighter, and I think it's distracting me and making the track look different. Okay, so, you know, I've got excuses here. I'm just kidding. No excuses. No excuses. I'm right on his tail. I'm going to get him so good. I guess that's my best time that I'm racing. Oh no, what was that? Oh no. Okay, all right, so we go through here, which we really, well, I guess we have to go around that pole, but we don't actually have to like do the whole like big loop. We just need to make it around that light. So we could cut it as close as we want to around that. So then we go through here, and we got the big loop. No, not yet. Here we go. Big loop around there, and then do a little switchy switch, which I wish we could not have to switch, but you know. And then down here, and then through here, through here. Oh, wait, did I? Ah! Okay, so that was a new personal best. I think it's right. Is that what it's saying? Yes, it looks like that. I think that's what it's saying. In any case, I basically did as good as I did last time, even with like crashing out and stuff. So that's pretty good, I would say. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Okay. Woo. All right, that was embarrassing. My bad on that one. Like I said, this sinus stuff that I've got going on, it's a little hard to like focus and think. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's okay. You didn't really miss anything. Oh, that hurts. All right. Anyway. Okay, here's the screen. So I just did as good as I did last time, basically. Sorry about that. Good grief. All right, we'll restart that here. We'll try that again. You know what I probably need to... I wish I could have it so that the chat would like read to me. That would kind of maybe help. Anyway, let's press restart. Okay, all right, you ready? All right, you can see this now, I think. Here we go. I guess it just starts when I go, so. Whoop. I'm still getting a feel for these kinds of rates here. But remember, smooth is Smooth is smooth, fast is smooth, and smooth is smooth. I think I got that right. And be slow. No, slow is smooth, smooth is fast is what they is how it's supposed to be. And that really is the main thing. If I could just get cleaner and not crash out, that would make a really big difference. Like it's those transitions I'm really bad at. Changing direction, like doing a left hand turn to a right hand turn. Yeah, that would be just like a specific thing to practice on, basically. Also, putting in power to go around turns quickly without, without oversteering and without increasing in altitude. Also, those like switchback loops, that's a big one. So just practicing those over and over would probably be a big help for me. And now I'm behind my previous self, which I was doing so good at first. It really was, but just one little crash out is enough to really mess you up, you know? Yeah, that gets me, man. It really does. Boom. Dang, that's like so close in time. Oh, Flying Butter says, I'm not a doctor or anything. You're not? But I think you have ADHD. You know what's funny is I have a severe, what I like to tell people is I have a severe case of ADAM. But I do. I actually really do. And no, I actually think you're right. I'm not a doctor either, but I think I'm a doctor. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, truly, actually, though, that has been a I never really thought that I had something like ADHD. I wouldn't say that I have it very badly, acutely, if you will, you know. But yeah, definitely. When I and I didn't realize that until like just like recently, like the last couple of years or so, or a year or something like that. And it, you know, there's a lot of it's very easy to self-diagnose yourself or you know, just kind of fit a label or be misdiagnosed or just kind of, you know, whatever the popular thing to be is that it's like, oh, I have that. But it is very helpful when you it's helpful. Basically, it's helpful to understand how your brain works, how you function best or how you function worst, and to be able to work with that, like work with yourself instead of working against yourself. So, yeah. So you maybe you were kind of joking, but yeah, that is actually a thing. And then, but like I said, um, oh, having these allergies and stuff definitely does not help. All right, I'm gonna try this like one more time, and then I'm going to like go just do free flight or something, because you know, to kind of rest my muscles, I guess. Actually, let me put this down more kind of in my lap so it's more comfortable. And let me give this a try, see if this is better, because before I had it kind of up in a kind of a weird way. All right, here we go. Here we go. Wow, my old self really just shot out of there. My goodness. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. We're all right. We're doing just fine. Gonna go left. Gonna go around the loopy loop. Okay. In the loopy loop. Okay. Boom. Okay. We're going straight ahead. Okay. We're already gonna turn. Definitely my right turns are bad. I need to work on my right turns. Okay. We're gonna go through here. Boom. In through here. Around here. Back around here. Yeah, it's like I tend to want to like pull back too far, and then I'm like looking backwards almost. Come through here. Oh, that was ugly. That was rough. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's a bit wide. Okay. 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 Do a little loopy loop here. Line up. Stop myself. Okay. Come in here and. Oh. All right, that definitely works better to have it kind of like down in my lap instead of having my arms up in like a weird way as far as holding the transmitter. Wowzers, kabowzers. Okay, that was great. That was my best one yet. And I think when I first did this time, I wish we keep track of all the times, but when I first did this time, it was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that. And that's always how it goes, you know, where you start out, you know, the first time is like really bad. And then the second time, maybe really bad, but like a tiny bit better. And then you probably get like much better, but then you get to a point where then you're just trying to get like a half second faster. Because you've kind of plateaued in a way, I suppose. And then of course, and then you need to like, you know, work on your skills more and with other stuff, things like that. So, that's interesting. All right. Flying Butter says, I can't read. When I read, the letters kind of mix up and I see different words. I believe they call that dyslexia, but I am also not a doctor. And that's another thing that gets overused as well, or you know, but not even really diagnosed because it's not diagnosed, but just overused in terms of like saying, I have dyslexia. It's like, no, you just don't pay attention. Sometimes it is legitimate though. That's the tricky part about when people use it when they don't actually mean that. You know, they say, oh, I have ADHD, when it's actually like, well, you actually just weren't paying attention to something, like, because you didn't care about it. Having ADHD is more like you might really want to pay attention to something and care about it, but it's like very difficult, where you kind of don't feel like you are in control of your focus, which can be very frustrating at times, both to work with those people and to be one of those people yourself. And, you know, people are at different levels of being able to, you know, to work with that sort of, what would you say? Be in control of it. You know, I'll tell you what, I can just feel the difference that that the racing has in terms of being able to really pay attention and focus where the drone is going, and being able to implement maneuvers. That's a fun word, maneuvers. Implement the controls very quickly, you know? I really like that. It makes the freestyle flying much much more something precise, much easier, much I don't know. It seems to help though. It seems like I can feel like I can. It's like essentially when the drone just does what you want it to do. It's such a good feeling. It's one of the best things about flying FPV drones, and that's really kind of when you get like hooked on it. When it just becomes an extension of yourself, and you just can sort of feel what it's doing and how it's going to work and where you are in space, and you're like, oh, I want it to go over here. I want to hit that gap. I want to do this, and it does it. And the sticks become an extension of yourself. Boom, drift car. I need to film some drift cars before my career is over. That'd be cool. Flying Butter confirms racing helps with everything. Yeah, and also, racing is it's it's one of those things that it's kind of not fun like when you first do it. It's not until you get that good feeling of basically, completing the race, and when you see that you're making progress, and that's really where it becomes interesting, and you can like time yourself, and that's what I like about it, is that you can know for sure that like that the track that you're flying, if you're flying the same track and doing the same stuff, but you're doing it faster, then you are improving in some way. And it could be different things. It could be that you're going faster on the straightaways. It could be you're more in control. It could be you're crashing less. It could be various aspects, but you can tell that you're making a different skid. Oh, I hit the tire. Darn it. I don't think I've ever skidded a drone in real life. Who here has skidded a drone? I know you see it happen all the time on the YouTube. Oh, let's go into that little gap. Oh, Like, why? Why would they put this gap in the building? What were they thinking? Ow. What were they thinking? Does anybody else say ow when the drone like hits something? If you're flying along and you like run into some branches and you're like, ow, ow, ow. Is it just me? Oh man, I'm dead. Well, not exactly dead, but you know what I mean. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh, 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 oh. All right. This level is cool, but there's not like a ton of stuff going on. It's pretty cool, but I think we should explore some other places. Let's do it. Let's explore some other places. Where would be a good place to go to? We've gone to the factory, the meadow, the rally. Rallycross is always great. I love Rallycross. The racetrack. Wait, have we gone to the racetrack? We have, right? Or have we? Or was that liftoff? I don't remember. Well, we're going there anyway because I want to chase some cars. It's good practice. Yeah. And that's, again, anybody who's watching this who's not familiar with, FPV drones, or you just want to get into it or whatever, absolutely 100,000 million %. Get an FPV simulator. It could be Uncrashed, Liftoff. The free one is Orca FPV Skydive. Various others. But get you a transmitter. Uh-oh, we just got disconnected. What's going on? Why is it disconnected? Oh no. What's happening? Maybe I have a faulty cable or something. My sticks aren't working. My sticks aren't working, Captain. Bummer, dude. Dude, bummer. How do we fix that? That's a little frustrating that that happens like that. It says it's in there. Oh, track editor. I didn't know you could edit. You can edit the tracks. Stop it! I didn't realize you could do that. That's interesting. We're connected, but I don't understand. Let me see here. Flying Butter says, I see FLYDAYs are not that popular. You know, sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Honestly, I would think that it'd be much more popular because it's more of like something to watch. It's kind of, I would think, much more entertaining than me just like talking about stuff or showing a specific thing to a specific person, but perhaps not. Where do I reset? No, I don't want to reset the settings. Stick calibration. So I don't think this is connect. Yeah, it's not working. Yep. Okay, that's weird. It's probably the cable that I have, which is kind of a bummer. What if I do this? What happens? Seems like it's just freezing on that. Oh no, there's a lag or something. Let me go over here. I'm gonna restart that. So we're connected. We should be good to go. Let's reconnect this. All right, boom. What do we say? We said we're gonna go to the racetrack. All right, let's see if the transmitter's connected this time. All right, we are live. Oh yeah, and in case anybody's just joining us on this video, we are live on Instagram and YouTube. I think last time maybe I said Facebook, I don't know, but YouTube and Instagram, we are live. Yeah, I don't remember going to this racetrack one. We're gonna have to increase our up tilt probably because we need to go fast. Who wants to go fast? I want to go fast. There we go. And dive bomb. Dive. Oh, they're going so slow now because they went on a curve. Oh, well. Boom. Skirt. Slow motion. Bam. Can we do this in slow motion? Is that possible? What happens if I press that? What if I press that or that? Nope. That's pretty cool. But yeah, definitely a whole lot of throttle control. Very, very tricky, you know. So anybody who's not familiar with flying FPV drones, you need to adjust the essentially the tilt of the drone, which is if you have a fixed FPV camera, which most do. It's going to adjust the tilt of like the angle that you're looking at. And you also need to adjust the throttle as well at the same time to be able to adjust your speed. So on the straightaways, I can't even keep up with these guys because they're going too darn fast. Even, yeah. That's kind of crazy. Wow, okay. Didn't look like they were going fast. And then they go super slow and just apparently run into each other. That's surprising. Whoa. Yeah, So that's cool. That's kind of fun. I guess it gets boring after a while, but then we can just peel off and just buzz the audience. We got a hot air balloon up there. That's cool. We got this stuff to fly through. Oh, almost made it. That's a crazy framework to fly through. I want to get in the car. Can I get in the car? I can get in the car, but can I drive the car? I should be able to drive the car. Okay, fine. I won't drive the car. Other places there are cars that you can drive. You can get in them. I don't know why we can't on the racetrack, right? My goodness. How about this one? Okay, not that one apparently. Oh, there's a skylight. That's cool. Wah, let me out. Flying Butter says, do you feel like the Radiomaster Pocket is too small? No, I love it. I think it's just the right height. Is it this car? Can we take this one? Actually, height was a strange word to use to describe this, but yeah, I feel like it's a good size. I'm holding it right now, and if I do like a thumbing grip, it does feel, it could maybe feel a little cramped. But typically I do like a hybrid pinchy grip, and it seems to, it feels pretty good. But you know, I don't put like hours on this radio every day. So kind of long term, maybe it would feel a little cramped, but I really like it for what it is. And I like the size and the form factor. I don't care for radios that have the like the gamepad style controls or shape form factor. You know, where there's like the well, you know, like a game controller where you have kind of like a separate almost like a handle for each arm. I mean, each hand. Gosh, sorry. I am struggling to be able to focus on flying and describing something at the same time. Flying Butter also says, you definitely got something. I don't know if ADHD, but definitely something. Thanks. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Well, I told you I have ADAM. A severe case of ADAM. So, yeah, that's where we are. I like flying around trees too. Trees are fun. The backyard that I learned to fly in was very woodsy, and it had these beautiful oak trees, water oak trees, just big old canopy. Oh, I loved it so much, and I love flying in the canopy. I don't see that very much. I'm not sure why, but I used to be scared of flying around the trees or in the canopy. I definitely was scared of flying above the trees because I was so afraid that I would lose the drone, you know, flying up above this big, you know, canopy, especially in the winter or summertime when it was full of leaves. You could not really see where you were coming back down, especially if it was analog. And you know, the signal would not be so great because the trees were so full of leaves. So it was pretty intense. And I was just like, man, if something happens and the quad gets stuck up in the tree, it'd just be such a bad feeling. But now I'm not so worried about that because, well, one, I'm a better pilot now. And two, I mean, I have so many drones. I don't have so many drones, but like I have, if I totally got one stuck up in a tree, like I could either get it out using another drone or just like I would have other drones to use. So it's not as huge of a deal. And also the video, the FPV video technology is better as well. So I have much more confidence about flying in situations like that. Flying Butter says, talking about the Radiomaster Pocket, says, I feel like it is really small. I just can't use it, and I do pinching too. Oh, I thought you used the Radiomaster Pocket, Flying Butter. What is my up tilt? What are we looking at? 20 degrees of up tilt. Not a whole lot of up tilt. Not a whole lot of up tilt. All right, this is boring. Let's go someplace else. Pardon me. I really like... Have I gone to Urban Bando? I don't know that I have. I really like City Park. That's a fun one. Let's go to Urban Bando and check that out. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Urban Bando. We don't really have many bandos where I live. So the concept of like flying in an abandoned building is like kind of foreign to me. There are some abandoned buildings, but it's not like they're like whole blocks of like abandoned buildings and stuff like that. And personally, I probably would not actually feel comfortable. Like I wouldn't feel safe flying in an abandoned building or abandoned area. Cause I'd just be like, thinking somebody's gonna sneak up on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have not been here actually. That's surprising. Wow, this looks like a terrible wasteland. Oh my goodness. Wow. We can't fly very far apparently. I don't know which way to go. Oh, there's like a cliff over there. Over the cliff. Woo! Oh, okay. So Flying Butter says, I've tried it, but it's real small. For me, I use a TX16S. Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking that Flying Butter was a fan of the Radiomaster Pocket. Maybe that was somebody else I was thinking of. But yeah, I had been using the TX16S because I said, hey, I'm a big boy now and I'm a real pilot, so I need to have a TX16S because that's what Joshua Bardwell has, and everybody who's anybody uses that. However, it's huge. It's so huge. If you're flying mostly quads, or if you are, I should say, unless you are flying fixed wing aircraft and you need to like have a bunch of settings like in the menu, and you want that like full color large screen kind of situation, and a whole bunch of switches. So unless you need all that stuff, it is way overkill for quads. All right, this is, this this abandoned place is like too much going on. Like I can't even concentrate on anything. I don't know like what. I mean, I'm flying around and stuff, but it's all blending in, and it's like blah blah. All right, let's go somewhere else. Oh, Flying Butter says he recommends it, but it's not for him. Okay, well, fair enough. He says Pocket is not really for racing. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I could see like the nice thing about the TX16S Part of the reason why I use that is because it has the multi-protocol module built into it. And so I was using that to fly FlySky stuff as well. And I would have the Crossfire module, the TBS Crossfire module on it for the quadcopters. But then I kind of mostly just ended up flying quadcopters yes, that became the main focus basically. And I would oftentimes not be doing both of those. I would, primarily I would be just flying quadcopters, and it's kind of a whole different setup. If you're going out and flying, should we go in the rain? Sunset, sure. No. I want some light. If you're going out and just flying, and you're having fun flying RC airplanes and stuff, it's like a whole different loadout than just FPV drones, especially and also depending on if this is just like a fun flight trip or like a professional job. And then also, you get to you got to carry other stuff too. And so then you got to be able to fit it all like into a certain size, especially if you're traveling, if you're going to be flying on an airplane, which at this point I would very much try to avoid just because it's such a hassle. But it's going to be much more beneficial to have just the kind of the bare minimum when it comes to your drone needs. Because, for example, if I'm flying professionally, it depends on if I know what the job is going to be or not. But I wouldn't just be bringing an FPV drone as well. I'd be bringing a Mavic, and then the controller and tablet is what I used to use, and then now the large DJI RC Plus controller, and then batteries and accessories for all of that. So it all adds up quite a bit. And for the FPV side of things, I might not even use it, or if I do use it, I'm not really gonna need like a bunch of switches or that big screen or anything like that. Boom! Ow! Ooh, this is really durable, and yet there we go. Woo! Place bow. Hey, I remember you. Welcome back. Says our 1102 motors can fit on 1S. That's probably a better question for Flying Butter. Placebo says our 1102 motors, can they fit on a 1S 75 millimeter configuration? And Flying Butter says, I would recommend. Oh no, we're talking about something else. Flying Butter, do you have any thoughts on that? 1102s on a 1S 75 millimeter configuration. Flying Butter says, I would recommend the TX16S, but it's a lot of money, so not the best for beginners. Is it still a lot of money? Because I feel like it really kind of should not be still. But, and then some of them, have the fancy settings, fancy upgrades, like I don't really know, super duper Hall gimbals and anodized hardware, which that's just that's not going to help you fly better, and potentially other things. Oh, didn't do that one right. Let's up the up tilt, huh? Let's get up to 35. Yeah, get some real speed. Oh my gosh, whoa. That's a big difference. So for anybody who's not familiar with FPV drones, when you increase the up tilt of the camera, that essentially means that your sort of normal looking view as you're flying the drone, it makes it so that your drone will be more tilted when your view looks normal, as this does right now, which means you need to increase your throttle by a lot in order to have a you have to increase your throttle in order to maintain your altitude. So it's kind of interesting because it's kind of very much based on a visual reference. Oh, see, and so I'm not used to flying with this much up tilt, so I'm not giving it enough throttle. Which is why it is important, especially if you're just getting started. Don't go changing your up tilt a whole bunch. Start low. Start with like 15 degrees of up tilt. Oh, see, I needed to pull up a little bit more. And also I needed to increase the throttle more. Let me see if I can get it this time. Too low on that one. I went into submarine mode. Unfortunately, we don't have a submarine mode. Oh, I was so close. I was like floating right there. Oh my goodness. Flying Butter says, yes, 1102 motors will fit on a 75 millimeter frame. And in case anybody's wondering, 1102, we're talking about the size of the motor. Yay, we did it. Okay. Oh, all right. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, man. Oof. Yeah. So, yeah, it makes a big difference if you change your up tilt, like by, well, almost doubling it, which is pretty crazy. Oh, my goodness. Bum, bum, bum. Wow. Ooh, we're getting so low. Can we go under? Let's go under. Let's do it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. You know, they say you should always have an exit strategy, but I did not have an exit strategy right there. For sure. Flying Butter says, when I started, my camera angle was 5. Now it's 40. Yeah, and maybe even lower, honestly, to start with, even lower. If you do 0, so this is 0 camera angle. If we fly this, you will notice like where it's just hovering. All I did was increase the throttle. If we go forward, like you see that reticle in the middle, it's going to point down like very quickly. It's going to point downward. And that reticle tells us basically like where the drone, like the camera is pointing. And so if we point down, that means the drone's going to be like angled more. So essentially it's just, you can't go as fast straight ahead, because if you went really fast, you'd be pointed like way down, and then you'd be looking like at the very top of your screen. You see how that is? Like most of what I'm looking at is at the very top of my screen to be able to pilot this and move through here. However, so that's not ideal. However, if you are, maybe you're trying to fly through some treetop canopy, maybe you're trying to go really slowly and you want to really navigate something, that can be one of the ways to go, right? People don't like usually think of flying FPV drones like this, like really precisely through spaces. Usually people think of it as like you're just ripping around, but this is really fun. This is actually, in real life, this is one of my favorite things to do, is just flying through a canopy. Zero tilt is probably a little too low still, but 10 degrees of tilt would probably be fine. But the difference is like so when we have zero tilt, you can kind of see that like we can see very well below our center line, like our horizontal center line. So we can navigate things much better. So if I just kind of maintain this hover here, which is, a little tricky because we're doing it manually, but if I maintain this hover and increase my camera tilt, so now we're at 5. Whoops. Oh. Okay, I guess these branches don't actually do anything to us, so that's cool. So if we increase the camera tilt, I think we're at 5. See how like if we go way up, we have not changed our angle, just the angle of the camera, excuse me. And we can't see nearly as much below the drone. So trying to move downward can be really hard. Like descending, essentially. Descending, if you're in this situation and you're trying to descend through the trees, or it's maybe it's a building, whatever it is, if you don't have, if your up tilt is very high, or more than like 5 degrees, it's going to be really hard to descend. It's going to be hard to descend and be able to see stuff as you're descending. That's what I'm trying to say. So there are certainly times to have very low camera tilt. Or if you're filming something that is very slow, you will want to have low camera tilt. But remember, if we're trying to film something and then we have to go a little faster, the camera's going to start pointing down. Okay? And not only does the camera look different, but our drone is going to handle differently because it's not tilted forward as much. I don't know what I hit there. Invisible fence, I guess. It's not tilted forward as much. So the controls, your yaw and your pitch and your roll, are not going to respond in the same way. Because your yaw is going to be your yaw. And so you're going to use... so yaw, roll, pitch is forward and backwards. So you're going to use your controls a little bit differently. Basically. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Jimmy Boats 545, welcome. It says, are the kinematics matched to your real-life drone? Flying Butter says, when it's at 0, you better see how the quad works. Oh, yeah, I was going to change the camera angle, the view here. Let me reset this. So, that's line of sight, FPV mode, third-person view. So third-person view, I don't know if it helps a ton on here. We'll try it out. Jimmy Boat says, is this live or recorded? This is live, man. We are live for like the next 5 minutes. We're playing Uncrashed FPV Simulator. And right now we're just talking about the difference in camera tilt and stuff. All right, so here is not line of sight. So this is the drone. I think, well, hang on a second. Does the camera tilt? Okay, camera tilt doesn't matter like this because we are just flying basically behind the drone. But so you can see the drone, if we're just hovering and we're maintaining like our position, where the drone is pretty much horizontal, like as if it were sitting on a table. But if we tilt forward using our right stick, you can see in that little box with the cross, the little circle is the stick movement. So as we start tilting forward, the drone tilts forward and we fly in that direction. But if we tilt too far forward and we don't raise the throttle, the drone's going to start going down. So we have to raise the throttle to adjust the altitude to compensate for it. I'm going to do a turnaround here. Let's get up a little higher so we can actually kind of see that a bit better. So if we want to fly faster, we need to tilt the drone more and increase the throttle so that we maintain altitude. And you can, I guess, maybe you can't see on the top right corner our speed, but basically it's 53 miles per hour now. And then if we increase the throttle, we need to push the stick forward more so that our drone is just basically, the motors are flying as straightforward as they can be. And now we're up to 89 miles per hour. Okay. So at this point, when the drone is tilted so far forward, I'm not sure how far exactly. Let's switch to, this is what we would see if we were flying in the drone. Okay. So we're pretty much pointed like down pretty far because our up tilt, well, we have 0 up tilt. So this basically matches the angle that our drone is pointing. Like the front of the drone. It's, pictures would be helpful if I could actually point to pictures, but you get the idea. And then, so, that's fine if we're up way high, but if we're trying to fly that fast and we're down low, we're going to be looking at like the top of the screen to be able to see what is coming towards us. And we have so much wasted space at the bottom of the screen because like we're already past all that stuff, so we don't care about that. So that's that. What I was going to say was when you have very little up tilt, when your drone is not tilted forward, I guess I should say, it's kind of like flat. Your yaw is your left and your right. That's pretty much going to be like normal. And your roll is going to be your tilt left and tilt right. Okay. And that's going to be normal. But if we start changing the up tilt and we point the up tilt, so we're changing the way our camera is tilted, not the drone, just the camera, and we change it up to 30 degrees. See how much much less of the ground we see. So we would kind of naturally point the drone forward to be able to see more. But then we're going to start kind of falling downward. So we'd have to increase the throttle to counteract that. And then now we're like back to stable. So we're maintaining altitude. But now if we do roll left, and roll right, now we have this weird kind of motion. It's like yaw, my bad. Obviously, it was my bad. I'm the only one here. If we yaw left and right, we don't get that same kind of horizontal motion. And if we roll, we don't get a pure roll motion. And so to make turns and control the drone properly, we need to mix the controls and do both of them at the same time to be able to control the drone how we want to. So that's fun. Oh, hit the bar. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, that's going to do it. We are out of time. Oh my goodness. And I should probably stop talking anyway because I'm losing my voice. These fantastic springiness. Spring weather is great, but it's not great for my sinuses. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic day. Let me see. There you go. You let me see my face. Yes, have a fantastic day. Thanks. And weekend, I guess it's Friday. So happy Friday. Happy FLYDAY. Get out there, fly something, build something, go design something, 3D print something, do something, I tell you what, sometimes if I'm feeling like blah, and I'm just like, man, I don't have any energy. Sometimes it takes energy to make energy, or you have to use energy to get more energy. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. A lot of times, my brain stops working well if like my office room or my house, whatever, is cluttered. Maybe my van, actually, shoot, I need to clean out my car too. So maybe you need to like basically clean up your room. And that can really help you a lot of times. So if you're looking for more energy and kind of that motivation feeling going into this weekend, you might want to just like clean some stuff up and then you'll feel better. Probably, I dare you. And then report back next week and let me know how it goes. Also, next week, we're probably not going to be meeting on Monday, Tuesday. Like I said, we're starting to move the HQ and We got a lot of other things going on, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and get something out, but don't expect to meet on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday like normal. So probably just Thursday and Friday is what we're going to be looking at moving forward for like the next month or so. And then we'll see how things go after that. And then summertime is going to happen. So everything will be different for that as well. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.